Okay, that was something else. Marketa Vondrousova beats Ons Jabeur. Pain for Ons, elation for Vondrousova, who absolutely comes out of nowhere to win the Wimbledon women's title in 2023. Another shocking champion on the women's side, another disappointment and stab to the heart for Ons Jabeur and all of her fans. So I'm going to talk about how pressure and expectations kill dreams in tennis. And it's the craziest thing ever. Anyone who's played any level of tennis knows what that feels like. But no one's feeling that more than Ons Jabeur right now. So let's get into it and recap this women's final and tournament. Here's the slice. Okay, that was something else. That was absolutely something else. Marketa Vondrousova takes out Ons Jabeur basically routinely in just over an hour and 20 minutes, 6-4, 6-4. And what happened? This was the revenge tour for Ons Jabeur. She takes out Rybakina. She takes out Sabalenka. She takes out Andreescu. 4 previous major champions she beat on the way to the final. And it's all set up there. But then in the final, she's playing someone that she should beat. She's playing someone that she's the favorite to win against. And that's where the old enemy of pressure comes in and absolutely rips it away from Ons Jabeur. So before we get into it, shout out to our sponsors, Coolbet. Stay cool, bet responsibly. I'm decked out in total Coolbet gear this morning. Haven't had a chance to shower, but I did put some money on Vondrousova before this match because I felt like the pressure would be too much for Ons, and it was. So thanks for the support, Coolbet. Shout out to AG1. If you want to support your body with amazing nutrition on a nice daily habit, check out AG1, link below, and secure the bag, the best bag in tennis. Go Sport. Links for all that below. Thank you guys for subscribing if you have not. So what happened? Ons Jabeur lost last year in the final to Elena Rybakina. And that was tough for her. She said, I'll be back and I will win this tournament. And she came back in Wimbledon this year. And look at this draw. She came through the hardest route probably possible, taking out Ons Jabeur, taking out Elena Rybakina, getting revenge for last year in 3 sets coming from behind, and then taking out Aryna Sabalenka, who was the favorite in the tournament at that point, also coming from behind. And then having to play Marketa Vondrousova, who had won like 3 or 4 matches on grass ever in her career until this point. And she just didn't show up. Ons Jabeur really just did not show up in the way that she needed to for this match. She didn't come with anywhere near her best tennis. And to me, that comes down to one thing. Let the camera focus. One thing. Expectations. I've said it before. Expectations kill in tennis. And the players that don't let expectations get to them are like freaks of nature. Djokovic, Federer, Nadal. Anyone else? Different players have at times, but those players consistently don't let expectations. Throughout their entire careers, everyone they were playing, they were supposed to win against, except for each other. And they usually won, like 98% of the time, probably. But coming into a match like this for Ons Jabeur, who has yet to win a major, playing someone who she is definitely supposed to beat after she just beat 2 of the biggest contenders for the title, Rybakina and Sabalenka, back-to-back. The expectations there were so big for her. And she would have expected to win or felt like she was supposed to win. And expectations create the pressure. Vondrousova could have lost in the quarterfinals and had a fantastic tournament. She would have been happy with her tournament. She could have lost in the semifinals and been absolutely happy with her tournament. She would have gone home happy. She's in the finals now with absolutely nothing to lose. And that, compared to what Ons Jabeur has to play with, being the first African woman to win a singles champion, getting her first major, redeeming herself after losing the last two finals she'd played in. Her pressure was here. Vondrousova's was here. And their level of talent is like almost the exact same. I think Ons Jabeur is probably a little bit better tennis player, but in reality, the top players are all super close. And Vondrousova showed why she was there. But man, I cannot. If you've ever played tennis, I played junior tennis. I remember just wanting to win so bad that the pressure got to me, and your legs just freeze. You saw that today with Ons Jabeur. Her legs just froze. She was always off balance, never really in the right place, snatching at balls, getting way ahead. Not having good timing on her shots, not swinging within herself, and it started from before the match as well. I heard that she showed up to practice on the Wimbledon center court earlier in the day wearing black. It's like, what do you do? No, you have to wear white. I know it's stupid, but you have to wear white. So they made her go, change, and come back. That's not good mojo. That's terrible mojo. And then she shows up to go on the court to the waiting room before going on the court 10 or 15 minutes earlier than she had to. So she's just waiting around, letting it, thinking about it. And she looked stressed the entire time. I will say that. So I'm not trying to dunk on Jabeur. I would be the exact same. I would be worse. I would probably just default from the match somehow. I'd be so nervous. But if you want to win majors, you have to rise to the occasion. And she did not today. I thought in the other finals, she played better. This was bad. And this will sting for a long time. And the crazy thing is she's not young either. So it's not it's just painful. It's just, I feel so bad for her. Because she came into it confident and she was enjoying her run, and then it's just heartbreak at the end. So I don't know. To me, there was also something off. I don't know what it is. There's something off about her pressure on herself, an expectation that she's gonna win these titles when I don't know how to say it, but she was coming into this, just the way she's tweeting about it. She was celebrating getting to the final too much in a tweet I saw. And I was like, a lot of players would say, all right, next match is a big one. Let's go. Or she's posting on Twitter, you guys want to see me in the final? I'm in the final. What do you say, Wimbledon? It's yeah, well, you don't want to just be in the final. You want to win. So let's just keep it down. Oh, that was a nervous final. So let's take a look at the stats here. Let's take a look at the stats from the match because it's not good. Let's look at the scores, results, all events, ladies singles. Okay. Vondrousova 6-4, 6-4. One ace between the two of them. 4 double faults from Vondrousova. First serve points won. 48% for Ons Jabeur on grass. 45 second serve. She only broke 4. Well, she did break 4 times somehow. 4 out of 10 times. Very back and forth match. 31 unforced errors. That's just so much. Yeah. Anyways, literally, so total points won for Vondrousova was 68. 31 of those, almost half of them, came from unforced errors from Jabeur. So, I mean, that the stats do tell the story there. It was just a really tough performance from Ons Jabeur, but a really solid performance from Marketa Vondrousova, who actually seems like such a legend. The way she closed out that match, it was she was serving for it after, I think, breaking again. And then her sister in the crowd, you could see her starting to cry. And I just looked at Marketa's face each time they showed it, and it seemed like her eyes got a little wider each time, each point as it got in closer. And I think right before the first match point, she just looked to her box. And at that point, if you're Vondrousova, like coming into this tournament with no expectations, like she said last year, she had a cast on her wrist. She said 2 wrist surgeries. You just have no expectations. And that's when you're playing tennis, you can just play free somehow. But we've all been there. I don't know how the expectations now when you have 3 match points don't flood in to your brain. So she double faults on the first match point, and we're like, holy smokes. And then she gets to serve in, and Jabeur hits a nice like slice drop shot kind of thing. And Vondrousova barely gets to it, and it looks like Jabeur is going to pass her and hits a decent pass shot. Vondrousova, huge, gets there, chops the volley, and like before the ball lands, looks to her box and is like, oh my gosh, and falls to the ground. Incomplete elation. So just what a win for her. She seems so cool, so humble, so unassuming. Her husband flew in, who's like this super tall, lanky guy. He looks like I thought it was like her younger brother or something. But obviously, it's just like such a blessing to their family for her to win this, like just out of the blue. Crazy, crazy victory. Changes her life forever, 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 forever. Imagine that. Just being like, at one point, you were just like, I was a really good WTA pro player in a country like Czechia, who is like super historically, there's so many good players, Petra Kvitova, Navratilova, all these historical players. And you go from being a good pro tennis player to being a Wimbledon champion forever. You're just life. Every club, every tennis, everything you go to, you're just now a national hero in Czechia. And yeah, wow. Big time. It's cool to see that. That's tennis. Anyone can win, apparently, in the WTA. It's not like that in the ATP. It hasn't been for 20 years. But anyone in the WTA can change their life in 2 weeks, which is amazing to see. So joy, ecstasy, elation for Vondrousova, and pain and torment for Ons Jabeur going forward until she gets a major. That will go down as the most painful loss of her career, and it might stay that way, honestly. So tough. I like Ons Jabeur a lot. She's a great player, great person. Would have been a big story. Vondrousova slashed many headlines. Many, many headlines around the world were thrown out saying, first African female player to win, first major for Ons Jabeur, the people's champion. Not to be today because of expectations and pressure. Anyways, what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the section below. Thank you for subscribing and checking out our sponsors. Clicking the links below helps us out. We will see you guys tomorrow after the men's final, which I cannot wait for. We'll see you then. Take care.